A very, very big welcome to Saeed, and off you go.
Thank you so much. So first of all, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you so much for Hayat. A big thank you for giving me this opportunity. As Hayat was saying, I made many presentations on internations in the past concerning different subjects. But now it's been months for different reasons that I haven't done anything. So, and now thanks to Hayat, we contacted each other like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks, and we decided to do this event. So thank you again, and thank you for being with us. So to introduce myself quickly, so my name is Saeed. I'm originally from Lebanon, but I've been living in Bordeaux in south of France for about 4 years now. And I work in the tourism industry. So basically, I'm a tour guide of Bordeaux as a freelancer. And I also work in the wine museum, which is like the biggest wine museum of Europe. So, and I'm also on a spiritual path. We'll tell you more about it later. And so I'm not a life coach. I consider myself a storyteller. You know, I like to share my stories, experiences that happened with me, and to be able to help people, to be able to give people some information that might help them in their life based on the things that happened with me my life. And this presentation is one of the places where I like to share my stories and the things that I learned. So this was my small presentation, and begin. So the law of giving and receiving. So how to begin? Basically, this is something I began believing in about 12 or 13 years ago, which can be called also the law of attraction, karma. I think there can be like really lots of other names for the law of giving and receiving, but the bottom line is the same, that in this life, whenever we give, we receive, and what we give, depending on the frequency on what we give, we also receive in return. If we believe in it or not, in my opinion, it's my belief that it's a law, like the law of gravity, that is always working. Our mind is always sending vibrations in order to attract things from the universe. And this is what I'm going to be talking more about in the next slides. In order to begin, I'd like to begin by a quote that Hayat put on the events page when the event was posted, which is this one. She wrote it in the comments of the event. If you want to ask one question, ask yourself, what are you giving to the universe? And only that will be returned. I think this quote really summarizes all our lives. Basically, it really indicates how we are shaping our own lives. So just to tell you, yesterday I was watching an episode of a series, and in the series, like someone was dreaming of a different reality. He asks this question, am I dreaming? Is this reality? And the answer he gets is, you are the dreamer and you are the dream. So in a way, we are all, should this life be an illusion or not, we are all shaping our life depending on what we are sending and what we are giving the universe. Whatever we give, we are also attracting in return. So everything that happens with us, we are in a way creating it to have in our life. So we have this idea, and this is something I believed in like more than 12 years ago. Before I started my spiritual journey, I always had these questions in mind where I always felt that we don't really have control over our life, that our life is already really predestined, let's say, in a way, like everything is already planned and you just have to live it. In a way, I always used to ask myself questions like, is life happening to us? Do we have control over our life? Or are we just like, the puppets just are being pushed around in some huge game? And do we have a choice, or do we don't have a choice in reality? These questions have been on my mind for many times until I started my spiritual journey. And this is where I found out that in reality, we are the ones controlling our life. Like in reality, life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. And this is the main idea behind this quote. If you want to ask one question, ask yourself, what are you giving to the universe? That through different experiences in my life, I learned that every time I set my mind into something, I believe I have something, I receive it in return. And I'm not just talking about talking to the universe or thinking by myself. It's also contact with the people, how we address people, how we meet friends, how we address friends. Everything affects our life. And this is what I'm going to be talking about in. So moving on, of course, in life, so we can control our life, but of course, in life, we cannot control everything. There are some situations, some challenges that we are put in that we don't really control. And I can give you an example. Before I come to Bordeaux 4 years ago, my main purpose was to come to Paris, because Paris is a city where I lived for 3 years, so I know it very well. I have lots of friends there. I didn't have in mind to come to Bordeaux, a city I didn't know nothing about, and I had no friends at all. However, I did everything in my power. I went to universities in Paris, but nothing worked at all. And this is where I found out that anyway, it was not meant for me to go to Paris. It was meant for me to go Bordeaux. So this is where we have the choice to either accept this challenge and how to react to it. So, for example, there are people I know that can react in a negative way. For example, I could have said, no, Bordeaux is a city that I don't know anything about, where I don't have any friends. Like, what am I going to do there? Am I going to be happy there? I could have just let everything go. However, for me, I took it as an opportunity. I thought, well, the universe wants to send me to Bordeaux, so let's go to Bordeaux. It's going to be an opportunity, and I'm sure there are lots of things, lots of beautiful things waiting for me there. Of course, you are always afraid to take this leap of faith, let's say. But when I took this leap of faith, I came to the cities where I know no one, where I know nothing about. This is where I discovered that I had lots of amazing things and adventures waiting for me. And I met lots of beautiful friends all around the city. So it's really our reactions to the situations that matters the most. There are situations that we cannot control where life hits us, but it is the way we view the situation. This is something we can control. And this is what I always said. It's like what we call bad and good. They are basically two parts, the two sides of one coin. It depends just on which side we look at them. And the other thing is that when life sets us challenges and we decide them as an opportunity to evolve, learn about ourselves, we learn also to adapt. And while adapting, we discover the powers within ourselves. Because when you want to adapt a new situation, when you decide to adapt, you are sending vibes from your mind, telling the universe in a way that I am ready for this opportunity. I want to learn from this opportunity. And this is where you are going to find hidden powers within yourself, powers you never knew existed, that will help you, that will pave the way into making this opportunity a very beautiful adventure. And this is what happened to me when I came to Bordeaux. I remember the day I arrived, I was walking in the streets of the city, not knowing anyone, not knowing the directions. But then I thought to myself, this is an opportunity, I'm gonna seize it. Just the next day, I was on couch surfing application. I met people who were going to a party, so they invited me. I went with them. Through these two people, I met other friends, and moreover, now I have lots of friends, and I became also an international ambassador in Bordeaux. I have begun organizing lots of great events. So just to tell you, every situation we are in, we can see it either as an opportunity or as a difficult situation. And the choice we make is our mind sending vibes to the universe. And depending on the choice we make, the universe either will send us opportunities, will help us, will guide us, or will not guide us in our way. So all these difficult situations or challenges, in my opinion, always help us reinvent ourselves, as I wrote here, and connect with our true self through discovering our hidden powers. So moving on, this is where I come back to this question, this quote that Hayat wrote. If you want to ask one question, ask yourself, what are you giving to the universe? And only that will be returned. Because I said before, so we are sending these vibes from our mind. And our mind, I don't know if you read the book, there's a book that I highly recommend that you read. I began reading it about 3 weeks ago. It's called 3 Magic Words. It's a book that, I didn't finish it yet. I've read like 20 or 30 pages. It talks about the power of the subconscious mind, the power of the mindset. and how the mind is really a magnet and also a transmitter. So basically, even when you are sleeping, even when you are just walking by yourself, your mind is sending these vibrations, is sending these frequencies to the universe. And what is the universe doing? The universe is listening, the universe is hearing, and also the universe is responding, and it's gonna be sending you whatever you ask from him actually. And this is something that works even if you are not really thinking about it. This is why, like, for example, even when you are sleeping, this is something I believe in and something that Wayne Dyer always said. Before you go to sleep, it's very important that the last 5 minutes before you go to sleep, you put in your mind all the positive things. Like, you don't sleep at night thinking of all the negative things that happen during your day. The last 5 minutes, you have to say, I am grateful, I am happy, I am abundant, I have everything I want in my life. Because these ideas, when you are sleeping, your mind are going to communicate them to the universe, and it's going to prepare, let's say, and shape the next days to come. So just to tell you quickly, I'm not going to tell you about all of my spiritual journey because it takes a long time, and I've already done an event with Hayat about it. It was called The Steps That Carried Me, I think. But we don't have the time for it now. But just tell you quickly, it all began by reading the book The Secret that talked about the law of attraction. And then by discovering Alan Watts, who I didn't know before, I began listening to his conferences, to his talks on YouTube. That taught me a lot about the power of giving like sending from our mind and also receiving what we want. And most important things were, in my opinion, the list that I put here: showing gratitude. And can't imagine the miracles that you can have when you show gratitude. And I'm talking about this through personal experiences. More importantly, in my opinion, love. But when I say love, it's love to yourself first. Loving yourself, being proud of everything you accomplished in your life, because I can tell you, each one of you accomplished lots of things. But the thing is that we arrive to a point in our lives where we forget the things we accomplished because we see other people accomplishing other stuff, and we want to be like them. We begin comparing ourselves to them, and this is what makes us forget everything that we already accomplished. So loving yourself, waking up every morning, saying to yourself, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of everything I accomplished. You can't imagine the miracles you can have just by having this mindset, because the universe will know that you are happy with your life, that you are sending only positive vibes, and will send you more things to be proud of. In addition to living the moment, try to live a less stressed life. There isn't a stress-free life, but try to let go of things and not to really worry about everything that happens with us, and also live as if we already reached our goal. And in my opinion, this is one of the basics of the law of attraction. I'm going to tell you about it in a bit while telling you one of the stories that happened with me. So I told you, here I'm going to show you some types of people that I read about, videos I watched about our brain. So the human brain is the most powerful transmitter. And in one of the videos I watched on YouTube, I don't remember which one, you were saying that literally the human brain can send direct waves into the universe in a matter of seconds, even less than seconds. Like, literally the most powerful transmitter. There isn't anything more powerful on earth, not any machine more powerful than the human brain. And there has been lots of books written about the subjects, lots of quotes about it. And here, for example, I think you know perhaps Earl Nightingale, who in the 1960s made a record about what he called the strangest secret, where he said the strangest secret in the world is that you become what you think about. So we all become what we think about the most. We all become what we are sending from our minds and we are receiving. Same thing with Napoleon Hill, where he says, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe can achieve. So basically, everything you can put your mind into, everything you can in your mind visualize, you really feel that you already have it, you can achieve it. Same thing goes for Wayne Dyer and also Alan Watts. This quote, I like it a lot, of Wayne Dyer, where he says, the law of attraction is this: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So basically, This is something I always do. I don't say I want this. I say I am or I have this. Because as I said before, the important thing is to live as if you already have the thing that you want. Because from the moment you say I want, that you are saying that you lack the thing. But when you say I have or I am, affirm, and this is what's most important for the universe and for the law of attraction. That is, in my opinion, as I said before, you can believe in it or not, but in my opinion, it's a law, just like the law of gravity. It's a law and not a belief. Moving on, here I want to tell you about a book that I read that taught me a lot about this subject. This book is really amazing. I highly recommend you read it. I read it in French. It's called L'homme qui voulait être heureux. In English, it means the man who wanted to be happy, and it exists also in English. This book, I had it for about 2 years on a shelf. A friend offered it to me, but I thought it was going to be like all these self-development, law of attraction stuff books. So I didn't read it until one day. A friend called me from Canada, and at that time I was passing through a difficult time. This friend just called me in the most unexpected way. Told me, Saeed, I read an amazing book called The Man Who Wanted to Be Happy. It changed my life. I told him, like, wow, this book, I have it since 2 years and I still didn't read it. And this call like made me read this book. I can tell you I read it in one day because it's literally so amazing. It taught me all the amazing things about life, all opportunities we get in life. And I can tell you we all get the same number of opportunities. You can't tell a person is not lucky, another person is lucky. We all get opportunities in life. It's either we pay attention to them or not. And it talks about the importance of the self-respect, to see the beauty within ourselves, which also in reference to when I say to love ourselves, to be proud of ourselves. And this is the basics in order to attract more things to be proud of and more things to be happy in our life. So this is why I wrote here, don't ask how, the future will appear and watch for the signs. In my opinion, the basics and from personal experiences is believe you already have what you want, send vibes to the universe that I already have what I want, live as if you already got what you want, not asking how, not troubling your mind with how, because the how will appear in the most unexpected way. The teacher will appear in the most unexpected way and will show you the way to achieving your dream. So moving on, no, this one before. So here, I'm just gonna tell you a quick story. I'm not gonna tell you all my stories. These are from my YouTube channel. A while back, like 4 months ago, I did a YouTube like an international presentation about my self-healing because I was diagnosed just quickly with multiple sclerosis about 12 years ago, and I have a long story with spirituality and self-healing from multiple sclerosis. I'm not gonna talk about it today. You can check it if you want on my YouTube channel. The whole presentation is there. However, I will tell you quickly about something that happened with me a few months ago. Hayat knows the story too, where I was working here at the wine museum, but at some point I had some problems with paperwork here in France, where I was refused to renew my residency. In a way, I was forced to leave. However, I didn't leave the country. I'm gonna be honest with you. I stayed for a few months in an illegal way. But the thing is that I knew that this challenge that life set to me is something to help me learn. It's an opportunity where I'm gonna learn something from it, and I'm gonna get the residency, and everything's gonna be fine again. So for 6 months, I woke up every morning imagining the residency card in my hand, literally feeling it in my hand, literally feeling the happiness. So I lived as if I already got the residency paper, as if everything worked out and everything is fine. And I used to go see my friends. I used to go do international events. I lived my life in a completely normal way until at some point, I completely forgot that I was living in an illegal way in France. And this is where, when I completely forgot about it, when I completely trusted the universe that everything will work out somehow, this is where I received a call from the most unexpected person, the most unexpected way, telling me, Saeed, we found a way to fix your problem. In 2 weeks, you are going to get your residency. This is what happened. This is one of different examples I can tell you where I visualized, I created the future that I wanted, and I received it. So this is, as I told you, one of many stories. I'm not gonna tell you all of them now because we don't have much time for it, and it's gonna be a short presentation. I don't have many slides left. So here, just want to tell you about some some books that really affected me in my life that you can also read if you want, that helped you a lot. First one is the one I told you about, The Man Who Wanted to Be Happy. This one basically it talks about traveler who goes to Bali and he hears about a healer, like an old man living in the mountains who is called the healer. So this traveler goes to the healer in order to just by curiosity. And this healer begins giving him like tasks and exercises to do every day in order to learn more about life. And this is where this traveler and you as a reader begin learning about how people are always willing to help, about how we all have opportunities in our lives, but we either choose to see them or we don't choose to see them, how the power of the mindset for healing purposes or for creating the future that you want. I literally highly recommend this book. Seriously, it's one of the best book I read between all the books that I've read before. Second one is Manuscript Found in Accra by Paulo Coelho. This is a book, perhaps you read many of Paulo Coelho's books where there are stories, inside them. This is not really a story, it's questions and answers. So you have a group of people asking like a person who has lots of knowledge about love, about change in life, about defeat, about victory, about spirituality, and he is answering them. This book really taught me a lot about life, and also taught me to trust the universe, because there's one quote in this book that is really amazing where he says, I will not worry about tomorrow because I know that yesterday someone care of me. So whoever this someone is, you can call God, the universe, yourself, because basically we are all, I believe in the idea that we are all interpretations, like we are all part of the universe manifesting ourselves. So this book I also highly recommend. The third book is a different kind, but also talks about the beauty of life. It's called Papa Tramp. It's a true story written by this girl to the left, Vanilla Wen. And it talks about this guy whose name is Dimitri, born to be wild, die to live forever, who is a world traveler who literally travels the whole world. And she talks about his story. At some point of his life, at 30 years old, he felt the need, like the world was calling him. He left his job with a very good salary. He took his backpack and began traveling the whole world. And this is where he met Vanilla Wen, this girl in China. They fell in love and they continued traveling the whole world together. So basically, the story is really amazing. It shows you how it's not the years in our lives that matter, but how much life you put in your years that matter the most. So these three books, I really highly recommend you to read them. They changed my life a lot. They gave me a different view on spirituality, on our mindset, on how to live in a happy way. So I guess they would do the same for you too. Of course, there are lots of other good books, but these are the ones that I like the most for the moment. I think there's one more slide for my presentation today. Yeah. So I would like to end up by a quote that I really love, that we always want to achieve lots of things in our life, and we can use the law of attraction to attract whatever we want. But at some point, and this is something from personal experience, we begin comparing ourselves to other people, and comparing ourselves makes us forget what we already accomplished. It makes us want to accomplish more and more, and we forget that we have to live life. Life is made to be enjoyed, not to just continue accomplishing stuff. Like I can give you an example. At some point, when I launched my YouTube channel, I wanted to like publish 3 or 4 videos every week. So I did it for a month or 2 months. I was publishing 3 or 4 videos every week. But what happened is that I was staying up until 3 in the morning every night writing scripts. I didn't have time to see my friends anymore. I didn't have time to call my parents anymore. Like at some point, I looked at myself and I thought, like, what are you doing to yourself? I mean, it's really worth it to lose my friends, not call my parents, just publish more videos on YouTube. This is where I learned that I have to live life and at the same time find time to do something that you love. And this is a quote from some of you know that I'm a huge fan of Star Trek. Like for me, there's Star Trek, and then there's the rest of the world, where it says, "I'm no writer, but if I were, it seems to me I'd want to poke my head up every once in a while and take a look around. It's life. You can miss it if you don't open your eyes." So this is how I would like to end my presentation, and I would like to tell you that you can find me on Instagram as Wanderer Footsteps, and also on YouTube. I'll be sending you the link. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about experiences I learned through my travelings and also about spirituality, spiritual experiences. So I also have my YouTube channel under Wanderer Footsteps. And that thing has nothing to do with spirituality. I'm also on Couchsurfing and Be Welcome. If you are ever in Bordeaux and you need a couch, do not hesitate. I would host you here with pleasure. So, and I think it's 30 minutes, as Hayat told me, 30 minutes presentation. It's 30 minutes exactly. Thank you so much, everyone.